Good morning. Wanted to talk a little bit today about that feeling when you don't know what to post. And I know people feel this because they tell me over and over and over again. Whether people are just paralyzed with not knowing where to start, blank page. They are really uncomfortable with putting themselves out there. Or they just haven't got inspo for what to post. So there's loads of reasons why people don't post on social media. So obviously LinkedIn's our jam. That's kind of what we focus on. But fundamentally, this is a big problem for a lot of people, right? Let's bring Paul Green in. Hi, Paul Green.
Hi, Richard. Oh my god, I've just legged it around my house. I was like, there's a link. Let's go click it.
There's a link. There's a live to be had. So I'm totally unprepared, but I just wanted to talk for 10-15 minutes really about content and the feed. So Paul, your content's amazing.
Only just though.
Hey?
It's only just good.
Yeah, so you've only been in business for a year, right? So when you first started, were you like, what is all this posting I'm supposed to be doing? Like, what on earth am I supposed to be posting? When am I supposed to be posting? How am I supposed to find the inspiration to post? It feels weird posting. Like, it's a lot, right? When someone comes into my world and I say, right, I want you to post on LinkedIn, I want you to post on Facebook, I want you to post on Instagram, people are like, what? And when? And how am I going to do so much posting? And I think because I've been doing it for so many years, maybe I've become desensitized to that emotion around it or that just overwhelm around it. Because for me, it's just like, yeah, of course you just post everywhere. That's what we do, right?
I know, and I'm there now.
Yeah.
With my mentees and with my one-to-ones, I'm like, just do it. Like, what do you mean you're not doing it? But if I think about exactly a year ago, I mean, this, the story we tell all the time is me putting my story out there.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing it. I was in business for 3 months before I met you and doing all right from referrals, but I wasn't doing content. I mean, I found something this morning. Something came up on my Facebook this morning. There's see this post you posted a year ago. So this was literally just before I came into the 5-day challenge. And it was some stupid Chinese proverb. I was like, that is so, it's funny now because that is so not me. But clearly that's what I thought I needed to be doing, talking about glasses and how much water was in them and what it means. And what a lot of nonsense.
It's so cringe that somebody see your old content. I'm starting to see things from 10 years ago on Facebook when I was like, anybody want to come to a social media thing for £39 at the golf club or whatever? It's like, who is that person?
It's when you see the posts that start with "is" and you're like, oh my god, that is really old. And the days in Facebook where it had to be Helen Pritchard is, and then you had to try and hosting an event. Who wants to come?
It's like, ugh, cringe. Oh, look who's here.
Hey, morning, guys.
Choo choo. We're off and running. Hello, Michelle.
Hi. You're glowing. And you, Paul?
I've literally just legged it around my house. That's why I'm glowing. Literally, you get that message from Helen, don't you, that contains a link, and you're like, oh my god, I've got to get to the computer.
Got to put my bra on.
Launch code or something, isn't it?
Oh, and here we go.
Look at this.
What a party!
Now it's a party.
Hi. Good morning.
Brady Bunch.
Yes.
It's like the latest pop group coming out.
Coming to a staircase near you very soon.
Oh my god, I'm so excited about that. I'm so excited. We're going to a hotel tonight that was where the Spice Girls filmed the famous staircase scene in the Wannabe video, yeah?
Yeah.
Is the staircase still there?
Yeah, it's all been renovated.
Yeah, it's lovely now.
I'm going to get some weird Instagram reel then from you guys.
This is my second time on the staircase. I have been there before. I was so drunk and I didn't really take the best opportunity for staircase action.
So everything's content, right? That's what I say. So we're talking about content today. We're talking about how cringe it is when your Facebook memories remind you of what you posted. In my case, up to 10 years ago.
Oh, it makes my face hurt.
Yeah.
I went to the pub a lot 10 years ago, so I miss that, Vicky.
Yeah, but from a content marketing point of view, you're like, oh, who's this person? And you go through all those different phases. And what I was saying to Paul before you guys piled in, I've got to be honest, hold my hands up. I forget what it's like to not feel that everything is content. Doesn't matter what you put out. You can just write on a whim. You can write what comes into your head. You can document what you're doing. You can write a more thought out post. You can tell your story again and again and again. Like, I'm so desensitized to it now because I do it every single day. It's just part of my sort of DNA now. And I'm trying to put myself back in that place where some people who are watching this might be new to content marketing, if you want to call it that. Like, I just call it posting a lot. But new to that, who might be thinking, I don't know what to post, when to post. I feel weird about posting. What will people say, do and think? Like what, like live and die by your next post and the reaction to it. And disappointingly, the overwhelming reaction to most things you post is indifference. And it's kind of like, I was really invested in that bit of content. I don't know. So Paul was just saying, like, a year ago, he was posting Chinese proverbs.
It's literally like I joined the 5-day challenge in October, and that was like when my content shifted. So literally this time last year, when I was like, I'm gonna be this well-being expert. So I'm literally like,
Even
kind of blessed I feel like today.
Be the water that consumes you. Vibration throughout.
Now I'm just like, just get on with it.
Do it.
Just do it. Stop talking about it. Just throw the glass against the wall and just do it.
Smash things up. Michelle, have you ever seen anything you posted and thought?
So really interesting that this time last year, and this is like shout out to you massively, is that my messaging has been consistent. So this time last year, I've been really happy to reshare stuff. 10 years ago, I seem to have been this little rude girl who I have no idea because I didn't know. Would you not repost stuff from her? It's not coming out to play.
Okay, give me an example. What sort of things was she posting?
Yeah, post this stuff in our group. I want to see this one.
Yeah.
Never. Just words, like not words I used. It was just like things I'd say, like, I can't even. Your brain can only remember things that it's ready to remember.
It's like that. Yeah, I see some of my stuff and I'm like, you're such a dick. Like, what are you writing that for? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, calm down. Take a breath. Like, what's wrong with you? Definitely some of that. Vicky, anything you've seen coming back up on your Facebook memories?
Oh my God. Well, I did my 5-day challenge last week, which it's so natural to put content out and talk about it and go live and all the rest of it. But the first 5-day challenge I did was 2 years ago. So I got all the memories popping up as I was doing this one. So I could see all the comparisons between like me now, which is like, this is what's going on, really confident, and then 2 years ago, it was like the video was like, hi everyone, would you like to come and join my challenge? It'd be really good, I promise. And then there's I looked at the feed and there's just like 1 or 2 posts throughout the entire week. Hey guys, last minute, there's no urgency or anything like that. I'm a lot more direct and frequent with my content now. I miss that Vicky. She was sweet.
She's sweet.
Carefree.
Edging into it gently.
Yes.
That's sweet.
Really
Laura, what comes up on your memories? You're like, do you ever think, who is that person? Like, what was
Would you remember when I first went on Facebook, there was always that is? So like Laura is, and then it was something really cryptic, and I'm like, I don't even know what that means. It was just a load of rubbish.
You don't even know if you're all right, hon, about yourself.
Yeah, I don't know who I'm talking about, and it was like that 10 years ago. I'm obviously saying something horrible about, I'm directing it at someone and I'm probably being horrible, but I can't remember the context. Or, you know, like I get memories of like someone's written on my wall, which would have been a text message, and you're like, what are you talking about? I don't know. So yeah.
These ones are definitely the retro ones. That's how you know they're on your phone. Yeah.
So yeah, but I mean, I don't use Facebook a lot, so I don't have that many, unfortunately. Or fortunately, like Michelle.
I don't know who this is because they haven't signed into Stream or whatever, but it says Facebook user. My first videos look like a hostage situation or a beheading was about to follow.
It's Gordon Fruit.
Gordon Fruit.
Please rescue us now. Yeah.
I said that like my first few videos before like I got slightly better lighting, I always looked like I was in witness protection, you know, and it's like no one's allowed to actually. This is how I used to do all my videos.
I just found the memories part.
Cradle Crime Watch Reconstruction.
Yeah,
You can
exactly.
actually see mine pre 4K Brio the webcam that makes me look lots prettier than I am in real life. So disappointed. I'm such a catfish. When people meet me in real life, they're like, "Oh, tiny, but your skin is as smooth as it appears on the big screen."
I mean, it's clever, that camera. It does make you look a lot taller than you are.
So yeah.
So I keep seeing my fashion. I'm like, why am I dressed like a lesbian lumberjack? And I'm down for that look, but I'm like, not on me. Like, what was I doing? I've got like.
That's one thing.
Last week, Helen. Was it?
It's going to be a post inside the content challenge next week. Like, you should have a share your 10 years ago you.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You really should.
Go way back.
It's so good to see.
Yeah, it'd be funny. So I think even a year ago, me is pretty embarrassing. My first video that I ever put on LinkedIn, I was half cut because I was like, I need a drink before I do this. And I was like you in witness protection. It was dark and I was hiding. I don't even know. I dread to think like what I was saying.
Rambling.
Drunk witness protection. I mean, that's the way to call it.
Well, yeah. Well, Phil Harrison said the first time he watched the 5 Day Challenge, he had his head in his hands. Because I was like 3/4 bottle of red wine in. I was just like, you know, I got black tea. I'm just like rambling on about something. I'm just like, and he was just like, how are you doing this in front of like thousands of people? I'm living my best life. But now, you know, it's just so funny. But it's all laid out there. But it's all content. Now you can write content about your old content.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I guess we're all pretty well. Actually, Paul's only been going for a year now. I was saying just before you guys came, Paul's content I think is fire. Like, it's so good. It's so well written. I'm like, has Paul got a secret content writer he doesn't tell us about, like under that desk? Because
Have you?
It's really come on. Like, I don't write a lot of my content, and I think you can definitely tell the difference. You know, the stuff that's spelt properly and isn't like a weird rant or isn't creating a whole new business out of nothing at 4 a.m. They're not me. But in a year, so a year is not a long time, I don't think, in business. And I think people tend to think it is. They're like, oh my God, it's a long time. But honestly, if you start writing content, creating content now without worrying about what it's going to look like in a year, right? Because we didn't, obviously. Otherwise, we would have done better content, worn better clothes, and been more sober. But like, so much can happen in a year, right? Well, what do you think changed for you from, I don't really know what I'm doing here, to, or did you just keep doing until it?
Yeah, it was a mixture of both things, really. Like, for me, it was knowing who I was talking to and knowing what they wanted to hear. That, you know, we always say, don't we, ideal client and outcomes are the biggest things. Like, once you know who your ideal client is and you know what outcome you're going to deliver, then you can talk to them about it. And the more you do that, the better. And then it is just doing it. Like, just keep going and going and going. You know, how many times do we say that about video? The first video is always going to be shocking. The first 30 videos are always going to be shocking.
Yeah.
You just got to keep doing it, you know, and eventually you'll find the rhythm, you'll find what works.
And I think people do see, they'll come into Vicky's channel and say, wow, Vicky's amazing, she's so great at presenting on camera. And you're like, I got like this from being not so great 2 years ago, right? And people don't see that bit. They only see the bit that they come into your world at, and they don't see that. And I think messaging as well. I know Rochelle and Paul particularly, you've gone through a real, you know, baptism of fire really over the last 12 months, particularly with being in Catalyst as well. It's like get your messaging straight. This is my, that's not your messaging. This is my I say, that's not your I say. And like tweaking those two things and your offer has been brutal, right? You've like torn it all up, started again. But I do think they were the pivot points where your content started to just really hit them out.
Makes it all easier. It's like when you sort out your brand colours, all your graphics that you create are just easier because you don't have to think about it and faff about. You just like, well, that's purple, that's going to be green, that's going to be that font, and then it's done. Like, it takes the thinking out. You just want to speak directly to that person.
It's an identity, isn't it? It's having an identity. Like, completely, everything has to be the same.
Yeah, and the more you it is, the easier it is, right? People say to me like, "Oh, how come you be so good at so confident on video and post?" I'm like, because it's just me. I don't have to sit and think, right, how do I want to write this post? And when I look back, I'm like, that was me trying to be. So I remember I had a psychic reading once. Don't want to go off on a tangent. I've only got 7 minutes. So that's cool. But anyway, and what she said was, the thing is, Helen, you feel like you're not enough to just show up. You've got to show up and start juggling. And what she said, what I mean by that is like, you're great as you are, but you feel like everyone needs to get something from you. So it's always about giving value, like literally do the show pony shit, right? Like, you know, watch this video and you'll know how to get leads from LinkedIn, or watch this video and you'll know. And it was only when I committed to doing a video every day, and I was thinking, I can't do 365 videos about LinkedIn. Like, even me, like, I've probably done 365,000 videos about LinkedIn. But as me, just gone through a breakup and just needing to show up and do something, I just started to talk about me and talk about my life and talk about what was going on. And it was a real pivot point, that for me, where I realized, oh, actually, I am enough, and people do want to hear about me, the person. Yeah, they want the stuff as well. And some people only want what they can get. But a lot of people wanted to know about me, and that really pivoted for me in terms of my content, because I was like, oh, literally, I can just show up and chat, and people are interested enough in that. And the fact that they can buy something from me that's going to help them it's that way around rather than the other way. I think before I was like, I can help you with your business, which is why I was so aggressive with my content in a way. So I was like, you don't have to like me to leverage me, you know, you can be right or you can be rich and all that kind of vibe of like, doesn't matter whether you like me or not, I can still help you and you'll still get something from me. And I felt like that was really important. But now I'm like, I want you to love me, and if you love me, you'll get more from me. Like, as in, you'll enjoy the process a lot more, and so will I. So I think for me, that was a big pivot point in my content, where I didn't feel like I had to set the world on fire every time I put a piece of content out. And clearly, when I look back, I wasn't setting the world on fire every time I posted. Some of it was just utter shite, and some of it was genius. And I think unless you let yourself really relax into it and just think, oh, I'm just going to post all the time, like, and then some of it will be great, some of it won't hit the mark. Some days, I mean, one of the things that we're talking about next week, Laura, in the challenge. So we're doing a free 5-day content challenge next week, and this is for everybody, which I know isn't very good from an ICA point of view. But literally, everybody I ever meet in the whole world should come and do this 5-day challenge, because it's going to help you with the 3 main things. 1 is knowing where to start. 2 is getting over yourself and actually posting. And 3 is having some kind of strategy. So, like, I'm going to do the 4 pillars. Laura and Michelle and Hannah. So Hannah's going to be talking about actually what to post. Laura's going to be talking about how to get over yourself. Michelle's going to be talking about blank page or whatever. I can't remember which order we're doing it. But basically, those 3 things we're going to cover. And I'm going to be talking about the 4 pillars. And even if you've heard my stuff before, the reason why I'm doing it with the girls next week is to show you that my way is one way, but actually me saying do the 4 pillars is just part of it. You've got to get yourself over it. You've got to get used to doing it. You've got to be disciplined. You've got to keep putting yourself out there. And I think the 5-day challenge will help everybody, whether you're already in the mastermind. So this is going down into the mastermind. So if you're in the business mastermind or the links to mastermind, it's still absolutely important for you to do it. You know, if you've been following me for a while, or you've done a 5-day challenge of mine on how to get leads from LinkedIn, it's going to help you. You know, if you're a client of Paul's, Michelle's, Vicky's, Laura's, like, it's going to help. Like, it's definitely going to help. And obviously being around other business owners is always fun. And it's nice and fun, this one, isn't it, Laura? We did this for the first time and we really enjoyed it, didn't we? It's a lot less pressure than doing it all yourself, right?
Yeah. Well, I think, you know, we take a day each, and it's quite nice that, you know, you kick it off and then you can kind of kick back a little bit. And
then
you know, it was just, you know, like there were loads of light bulb moments, because I think, you know, I'm kind of helping a year ago me when I was not knowing what I was doing. I didn't know where to start. You know, I'd be like, right, I'm going to do 5 videos. start filming a video going, you know, here's a sequence, and actually, like you've just said, just talk about what's going on or who you are or what you're doing, rather than, you know, trying to stick to this structure, because then you go off on a tangent and then you do it 12 times and you don't post anything because you're like, they're all rubbish.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, loads of people are just putting loads of pressure on. You know, I think, like you say, you've been doing it for such a long time, it comes naturally to you. I can do my 4 pillars in 20 minutes now as well. But a year ago, it'd take me 3 hours because I was like overthinking it completely. So, and it was just loads of fun. Like, you know, there's people in the mastermind, people who were like, who are these people? But, you know, they all took something away from it and it was great. So,
good fun, you know, getting everyone together and everyone learning about content, which is cool.
Yeah.
Right, amazing. I have got another call now, but Vicky's put the link in on Facebook to sign up, but we are all going to go and post a link on our own social medias, Facebook profiles. I didn't say that right. So if you follow any of us, and that's why you're watching, then go to our Facebooks and you'll see a link to join the free 5-day challenge. It starts over the weekend. I've signed up. We're all going to be in there. It's going to be another party. Basically, it's non-stop partying with us gang, right? And we will probably be live from London this evening. Certainly myself and Michelle and Vicky will be. Food, Paul.
Come on, Paul. Come on, Paul.
Come on, Paul.
Come on, Paul. Come on,
Somebody
Paul.
message Jamie and let them out.
Come to the staircase.
Come on, Paul.
You meant to be selling it.
What?
You meant to be selling it to me. That didn't sell
Oh,
it.
you out.
At least you're not propositioning me with jumping in your what's it today, Rochelle. I had a message from Rochelle yesterday that literally just said, I was just wondering if you could just jump in my my what's it. And then she just burst into laughter, and then that was it. That was the end of the message. Not what I normally get propositioned at lunchtime on a Thursday. But
It makes total sense.
I was crying.
Anyway, right, let's go. I've got to go.
See you later.
I'll see all of you watching on the 5-day challenge next week. Okay.
Bye, everyone. Bye.